स्टूडेंट्स, आई होप आप सब लोग खूब अच्छे होंगे और बहुत सारी पढ़ाई कर रहे होंगे. टुडे वी विल बी स्टार्टिंग विद SST. नाउ आई एम योर सोशल स्टडीज टीचर एंड माय नेम इज व्हाट? दृष्टि. और हम पढ़ने वाले हैं कि SST क्या होता है. बेसिकली SST में हम पढ़ते हैं हमारे बारे में, आपके बारे में, सराउंडिंग्स के बारे में, etc. We study about different leaders, planets, plants and a lot more. So let us get started. The early man. Let's find out what we learn in this chapter. Clothes, food and tools, discovery of fire and farming. Fire कैसे discover हुई and farming. Many years ago, there were people who did not look like us or talk like us. There were people who didn't look like us. They were called what? They were called early men. They lived a very difficult life. They have to move from one place to another in search of food and water, and they had to walk a lot क्योंकि तब तो wheels नहीं होते थे. They lived in caves to protect themselves from animal rain and heat and wind. They lived in caves. Early men also had drawings inside the caves. They used charcoal and other materials to make these drawings. They always made drawings, early men, so that they could remember things, they could, enjoy, and also they could keep a count of things. Now we will talk about their clothes, food and tools. Early men wore animal skins and leaves over their body to protect themselves from heat and cold. What did they wear? They wear animal skins to protect themselves from heat and cold. They went from one place to another in search of food. They went from one place to another खाना ढूंढने के लिए. They ate fruits, roots of plants and hunted animals for food. They ate raw meat. वो कच्ची मीट खाते थे. They didn't even cook meat. They made sharp objects from stones and called them tools. They used these to hunt, dig and cut branches. They used these tools to cut branches, dig and hunt. Discovery of fire. One day they discovered fire by rubbing two stones. From then onwards they began to eat cooked foods क्योंकि अब उन्हें fire के बारे में पता चल गया. Early men also used fire to protect themselves from wild animals. They burnt the wood and they kept it at the entrance of their caves ताकि सारे animals डर के cave में ना आए. They also made pots of clay to store water. They used to make clay pots जिसमें वो क्या करते थे? Water store करते थे. Farming. While cooking, early men noticed that if a seed or plant was thrown on the ground, it grew into something that they could eat. तो वो क्या करने लग गए? They began to grow crops. Early men no longer traveled in search of their food as they can now grow their own food using seeds. Now I know, let us see what we have learned. Early men walked from one place to another in search of food and water. Early men lived in caves and they led a difficult life. Early men wore animal skins and leaves to protect themselves from heat, rain and cold. Slowly they began farming and started growing their own crops. धीरे-धीरे they started farming. Oral questions. Where did early human beings sleep? कहाँ सोते थे वो लोग? They used to sleep in caves. Take the correct option. Early men lived in second caves. सही है बच्चों. बाकी सब आप खुद से करोगे. Fill in the blanks. Before the discovery of dash, early men ate raw food. Before the discovery of fire, क्योंकि तब तो वो cook ही नहीं कर सकते थे food. These you will do on your own. Write T for true and F for false statements. Early men always ate cooked food. This is false. They used to eat raw meat. ये आप खुद से करोगे. Answer the following questions. What kind of clothes did the early men wear? कैसे कपड़े पहनते थे वो? They used to wear leaves, animal skins to protect themselves from cold and heat. These you will do on your own. ये क्वेश्चन भी आप खुद से करोगे। Critical thinking. List out the things that we use but early men did not have. You have to list out things that we use. We do not have they didn't have camera, they didn't have books, they didn't have computers or technologies to teach. अब है experiential learning. Make a drawing like the early men made in caves. You need to make a drawing like the early men. You could search on the internet to understand more about it. Life skills and values. Imagine if you had no television, how would you spend your day? If I had no television, maybe I would spend my day drawing, playing with friends, cooking food, etc. Hello students, I hope आप सब लोग खूब अच्छे होगे और बहुत सारी पढ़ाई कर रहे होगे. Today we will be starting with SST. Now I am your social studies teacher and my name is what? Drishti. और हम पढ़ने वाले हैं कि SST क्या होता है. बेसिकली SST में हम पढ़ते हैं हमारे बारे में, आपके बारे में, सराउंडिंग्स के बारे में, etc. We study about different leaders, planets, plants and a lot more. So let us get started.